Well, the swimmer got 6 months. Turner got...
Yeah, and they're going to try to overturn that based on him perjury. He lied.
Well, what did he lie about?
Well, he said in his statement to the judge and to the district attorney, I always say Crown, that's what we do, that he was from a small town in Ohio, was not he never was not exposed to drugs and alcohol, and going on the campus, he got seduced by all of that. So that was a fucking lie, because in Ohio he got caught with possession of drugs. They found his text messages. They got him. He's the most hated man in the United States. He's become a social pariah.
Yeah, no, all the reading I've done, I read his father's statement, and I read the victim's statement today.
His father's statement was extremely
disgusting
and fucking naive, and I would say disrespectful.
Well, listen, the father's got to defend his kid. I get that.
But it doesn't matter. It was still disrespectful.
The father to
you need to acknowledge that there was a victim, and the victim, they found him in the back of a dumpster with her unconscious.
Well, for the father to...
I would say that evidence is extremely compelling.
Well, yeah, but all that evidence was there the first time. The judge had that evidence. And for the father to say that my son shouldn't go to jail over 20 minutes of action, which is, referring to rape as action.
That's what I'm saying. That was disrespectful.
That I was dumbfounded by. Yeah.
It was disrespectful. That was the girl was unconscious.
Correct.
Unconscious. It took them 4 hours to revive her at the hospital.
Two guys ended up coming around and holding...
If it wasn't for the two exchange students from Sweden,
stopped what was going on.
Yeah, they saw this. They saw this, and when they it was horrific. All I'm telling you is this narcissist, this pathological liar, has ruined his own life. He's ruined the judge's life, and he's ruined the girl's life.
Yeah, he's on
a
sexual predator
I'm telling you that this extreme pouring out of huge concern for the victim, which it rightfully so, is going to appeal his judgment, and he's going to be retried.
Yeah, I mean, not to denounce that, but look at Stutless. I mean, while he was a Maple Leaf Garden employee from 1969 to 1988, he abducted and ruined the lives of 24 boys, some of which have never recovered, have nightmares.
But people have committed suicide over that.
Absolutely.
He's destroyed many lives. I don't think he deserves any leniency.
I agree.
I really, you know what I mean? I think that the law, people make mistakes. We're all human beings. I mean, nobody's above being human. But, like you just said, Johnny, he felt that he was pompous enough to get away, and he kept manipulating and destroying lives.
Yes, and this was during the Harold Ballard years. Another pall that is hanging over the legacy of Harold Ballard.
Yeah, but this had nothing to do with Harold Ballard.
Yeah, but he hired the guys, for goodness sakes.
Yeah, but he didn't know.
But it doesn't matter. I'm sure that whether you're a fan of Harold Ballard or not, that he didn't condone that these guys would tell young boys, if you want a ticket, you got to do this and you got to do that, and they manipulated them. And
Harold didn't have any idea.
I'm pretty sure that that's not the case here. All I'm telling you is this.
Still, same timeline.
Going back to what you just said, Eric.
Yeah.
The judge, if you take a look, I listened to a very prominent lawyer, and he's a public defender. He's dedicated his whole life being a public defender, right? He says, if you take a look, maybe he's only doing 6 months, but his life, he's going to be noted as a sex offender, and if he gets married and he has kids, he can't even drop off his kids at school. Like it's going to be with him for the rest of his life. That won't be able to be expunged.
That being said, I don't think it's harsh enough.
No, it's 14 years. He should get the maximum.
Listen, the girl that he
took
did
the
this
person who was unconscious. Based on the evidence that I've read, took a person that was unconscious, and he lied. So if he lied about his that he never did drugs and he never drank, then he lied about the state of the girl. How could the girl give her
There was no
okay if she was completely unconscious.
No, there was no consent. The girl woke up in the hospital not even knowing
woke up
what
in the
happened.
hospital not knowing what the fuck happened.
That's right. There was no consent. There was no. I mean, he said that. You know,
He lied. He
did lie.
He lied through the whole thing, and I think that you know, because in the United States judges are voted in, and what do they need 7,500 signatures or 75,000 signatures, one either or. I might be missing a zero. They're gonna revoke the election of that judge who just got elected, I think, on a week before this trial. And they're going to retry him.
Well, and I think one of the really alarming things about this, too, is that there was a very similar case that happened with an African-American who did the exact same thing and ended up getting like 18 years in prison. There was no difference other than the fact that, you know, the Stanford swimmer came from a different background and had obviously more... more ways of, lawyers and legal teams, and his father speaking. You know, he had more.
Yeah, but even him, when he talked to the judge, it's horrible what he said. He did not once give any sort of, humans make mistakes, and they say, if I could have changed it, if I made a mistake, or anything. He did not at one time apologize for his conduct with that girl who was unconscious.
He showed no remorse.
Zero.
All right, so
I did it. I mean, there's no other way to put it. Like I said, I read the girl's whole statement on the night. Basically, she wasn't even going to...
Very emotional. It's very hard.
Her sister was there. She wanted to sort of look after her. Hadn't drank in a long time, which is why she was in the state she was in. It's really tragic.
Now, this is not going to, this actually happened. Not going to be like in 2006 with the Duke lacrosse team, where that woman made up all those stories and those three guys' lives were ruined, and, that was drawn out. This actually...
No, but this happened.
This happened, that's right.
The evidence is extremely
cold case, okay.
The amount of witnesses is compelling, and I'm going to go back to what Eric Cohen said. The statements by the defendant and his father are atrocious. The father admitted that his son raped the girl by saying it was 20 minutes of action behind a dumpster, saying that he basically had sex with her, but he didn't understand that it was wrong, was basically what the father was saying, which I don't understand. How do you not know that? He violated a woman against her will. She was incapacitated. If you sign a contract when you're drunk, if you're like she was knocked out, how could that be her will? How was that her will?
No, there's no way you can argue that's her will.
No, I think I'm pretty sure that he's going to pay the price for public opinion, and he's a social pariah right now, and he will pay the price for his action, and even he will pay the price for after his action.